That was way easier. Keep your body line a little bit more shut, allowing the club to travel from the inside, keeping the pelvis more flexed over, creating more space for the hands to pass through. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are somebody that is looking to perhaps draw the ball a little bit more and feels like your body needs to stay a little bit more closed through the hitting area, then I think this could be the drill for you. The drill I'm going to show you today is called the bowler drill, okay? And what you'll actually see next to me is you'll see Adam Scott demonstrating this drill. Something he's been caught doing on the range, and I'm going to take you through exactly why, the potential reasons are, and what that looks like. So the bowler drill is where you would make some swings and you would be sliding your right foot back through impact, just similar to someone that had a bowling ball, was going to go bowling. They would be going down the lane and they'd be sliding their right foot back and doing this, and they'd be bowling the ball down the right half of the bowling lane, okay, for it to potentially spin back in. And that is a very similar analogy when we're doing this with the golf swing. So you would want to move to the top and start sliding your right foot back and trying to hit some very small punch shots like that where you stop just about here. Now, what that's actually going to do is that's going to keep your body line a little bit more closed through the hitting area. This is fantastic for players that work to the top. Their right hip kicks out, their right knee comes out. And for guys that aren't very good at separating their upper and lower body, that would cause the hand path to kick out too much. So this is a great drill for keeping the chest and body line a little bit more closed through the hitting area, allowing the shaft to come from behind you and maintain loads of space. It actually allows the player to stay flexed rather than thrust as well. So a player is able to keep their bum line back and allow the hands to pass through, creating loads of space through impact. So there are a few variations of this drill. There is one where you can physically try and slide your foot back, and then you have the static version as well, where you keep your right foot back like so, and you try and stay in flexion as you let your arms come through and then turn around yourself again. The other one, which I'm going to demonstrate for you in a moment, is where you can use a piece of card or a piece of paper as well, which will do just the same job. So let's try and hit a few for you with the bowler drill, and I'll explain some feelings that I've got. And I think it's quite a difficult one to actually get right first time round. So I'm going to make a few small swings to start, and I'm going to try and slide my right foot back through the hitting area, allowing my pelvis to stay more closed, allowing the club to travel a little bit more from the inside, and then I'll work back around, releasing that foot at some stage. So I'm going to see if I can demonstrate that for you. Now, straight away, I felt like my arms were quite far away from me at impact. So on this next one, I'm going to try again. But I can see straight away that my club path was 0.6, so pretty neutral there. So let's try again. Have a rehearsal, keep my chest closed, club coming from behind me. I'm going to feel like I'm bowling the ball up the right lane again. Let's see what I can do this time. Now that was different. Now that one there we go, we can see the shape now. That was really interesting because I had a lot of space and I felt like my bum line stayed back. I actually hit that a little bit out the toe, and there we go. We can see my path has now moved to 5.5. So I've moved the club 5 degrees in this direction. So just feeling that stay a little bit more shut rather than going to the top, potentially thrusting and turning, causing the club to pitch out. I know that can cause some poor contacts too. So that's the first variation of it. And I'd say that's quite a difficult one to try and sync up, allowing the arms to lower while sliding the foot back into impact. So for this next one, I'm going to try and see if I can stay a bit more balanced. And some of you will see that this is, I just didn't strike that very well, but some of you see this a little bit of a Scottish Scheffler move in there, right? So I think he's been a hot topic for this as well. And if you actually look at, and I don't think they actively know they're doing this, by the way, but the way they move their pelvis makes their footwork do this, whereas they're not getting super open. So I'm going to show the static variation now, which is, if that's quite difficult to sync up, what you can do is set yourself up. Now I want you to drop your right foot back to your left heel, so it's quite a way back. Now the goal here is, again, to keep my chest over the ball, to keep my bum line back, keep my hips aiming shut as well. And the reason I quite like this one is it's very difficult for that hip to kick out without my heel kicking off the floor. So the goal here is to keep my right heel down as I allow that to pass. So don't even mind if you follow your foot line here. So from here, let's see if I can hit one. Try and follow my foot line, keeping my right heel down. I found that a lot easier, that one, if I'm being honest. I felt I could hit that a little bit harder. I can definitely see how you could cheat that one. Now again, my path was pretty good at 4, but I could definitely see how you can cheat that one. So one more time, you can definitely feel like I've got loads of space. My hips are much more closed coming into the ball now, allowing my club to travel from the inside. Again, just turn that one over, but I can really feel my hands releasing, which is quite a good thing, I think, because when we stand there and we start to turn our body really hard, we open up our hips, we open up our chest, that's really going to pacify the face, which a lot of people don't realise, that when you turn really hard, you actually delay the rotation quite often in the face. And don't get me wrong, a lot of players that miss left are going to need that. But for anyone that needs to come from the inside and actually release it, this is really, really good, because the body can't open up, meaning the hands are actually going to react and release. And releasing the club is super important and something that's been almost untaught. But actually we need our hands. We need them to release through the golf shot to be able to generate any speed and actually shut the club face down. So I'm going to show you the third variation of this drill, which I think will be a lot easier to actually understand. So here I just have a piece of card that I'm just going to chuck on the floor, which makes it a lot easier for my feet to move around. And the same thing here, I'm going to try and slide my right foot back. So I'll tell you where a good one for this would be in your kitchen with some socks on. If you've got the right flooring for it, will be a really good one for you to practice as you start to come down now. As my arms start to lower and come down from behind me, keeping my chest line shut, it's going to feel like my arm is lowering down my chest. I'm going to slide that foot back like so. So let's see if I can do it in a shot. Nice and slowly again, just stopping about parallel out the other side if I can. That was way easier than the first time round. I felt like it wasn't so difficult for my footwork to move there. So I hope that made some sense into how you can keep your body line a little bit more shut, allowing the club to travel from the inside, keeping the pelvis more flexed over, creating more space for the hands to pass through, okay? And that really shifted my path from something relatively neutral for me to 3 degrees right there, had some up at 5, 6 degrees right almost. So quite a big change. I'm somebody that gets the path relatively neutral, which makes me sometimes have a bit of a two-way miss. I can't quite predict what the ball's going to do from there, because if my face is 1 degree shut, the ball drift left, and 1 degree open, the ball drift right. So I am actually quite into picking a shape and playing one, because I feel like it's got some form of predictability. So I hope that made sense. Thank you very much for watching. If you did like the video, then please give it the thumbs up and subscribe. It would really mean a lot and help a lot. So thanks, and I'll see you soon.